Hi, my name is Stephanie Flint, and I am the co-creator of Infinitas Publishing. Last week, Isaac and I debuted Phalanx, the game that he created at the Old Drum Days Festival. And this week, I will be doing a reading of Magic Stealing, Chapter 17. And also, don't forget to check out the Multiverse Chronicles if you haven't yet. It's a free online blog series. We'll be releasing Chapter 12 this week. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the reading.
Chapter 17. The courthouse stood 3 stories tall, with a single watchtower rising from the center. A tiny flame wavered under its conical roof. Theoretically, the fire could be used to send semaphore signals, but this was the first time Tirana had seen it used outside of festival days. The tower hadn't been used for warfare in centuries, not since their creator united the kingdom. Darren lit starlight around the back of the courthouse to a stable for visitors. Chiclana's mare was already being tended to by a young hand. Go on, Darren told Tirana. I'll bring the stone. Tirana nodded and rushed inside, her heart thundering. If the shadows were already here, then Chiclana and her father were in danger. She hurried past the marble columns in the long, dark entrance. A pair of guards in Vinya's typical yellow and gray garb looked her direction, but ignored her when she waved her hand. Didn't look like there was trouble here. She hurried on. She bypassed a line of people waiting to speak with a weary acolyte, and then she found the servants' stairs on the other side of the courthouse. The stairwell was cramped and smoky, lit with torches and rusted hinges. The top floor greeted her with a fresh, misty air. Curtains fluttered in the vacant rooms. Grey light flowed through the glass, and the sound of her sister arguing with Captain Riccarton carried from the end of the hall. Typical, but at least they weren't shadows. Once at her father's office, she peeked inside. Lord Cavanolano sat behind his giant desk, which was decorated with elaborate carvings of Ifa and Nane. The 2 gods stood among various magical creatures hidden in the swirls of wooden fog that represented the immortal realm. Lord Cavanolano stroked his chin, thoughtful as his eldest daughter argued with the captain of the guard. Chiclana stood just inside the door, her silk dress plastered to her skin. Water dripped onto the polished floor panels and formed a reflective puddle that crept toward an expensive red and gold rug. Captain Riccarton had one finger pointed accusingly at her, his red face making his light red hair and beard brighter than usual. If these shadows are real, why didn't you warn us about them before now? He demanded, his rich voice acidic. Tirana would have hated to be on the receiving end of his anger, but somehow she never was. She cleared her throat. My fault. If you would let me speak. He dropped his pointed finger and straightened quickly. My lady, do you care to explain what your sister is going on about? He turned his sour glare on Chiclana. Chiclana jammed her palms against her hips. You listen to her, but not me. Riccarton raised his chin. Tirana isn't as prone to embellishments. Chiclana huffed, and Tirana fought back a smirk. She was the one the captain trusted to explain the situation. For the 3rd time she told her story, and Darren joined them mid-tale. Once Tirana got to the part about the cloaked woman in Shara, and how the maid was now a shadow. Chiclana frowned. I saw the mage, but I didn't see anyone else. You can't. Not without magic, Darren said. Captain Riccarton tugged at his beard. If what Tirana says is true, these shadows can bring more people into their shadow realm, and Lord Minstertail can control them. He frowned. He's creating an army. That army is coming for Vinya, Tirana said. A few scouts were chasing us earlier, but we took care of them. She glanced at the heavy bag Darren had tossed over his shoulder. Riccarton crossed his arms over his burly chest. Go on. When we went to get the Shoto Kachal, I accidentally dropped it. It flashed some kind of magic light, and the shadows vanished. He crept to her cheeks. If the stone had been damaged, Ifa would not be happy. We can't rely on happenstance to defend the city, Riccarton said. Wrinkles creased around his eyes. Tirana bit her lip. She wanted to have an answer, but right now, the stone was the only answer they had. If the stone wouldn't work... Lord Cavanolano cleared his throat. The shadow at my estate said they were coming to Vinya next, correct? It could be a decoy, Darren pointed out. He leaned against the door, out of place with the present company. They could say they were going for Vinya when they really planned to take Karna City. Riccarton shook his head. No, that strategy makes sense. They infiltrated the armory, which gives them access to weapons. If they go after Karna City with only a few shadows, they won't get far, especially if any Cantagen word mages haven't been affected by the stealing. There's bound to be a few diplomatic liaisons in the city. However, if these shadows attack Vinya first, and then go to Ashan, they can assemble an army before doubling back to the capital. Doesn't matter if that army is trained or not, they can overwhelm the castle with sheer number. Seeing as how we have nothing to defend ourselves with. Tirana raised her chin. We could at least try fire. We can't risk burning the city, Lord Cavanalana said, sitting straighter. Then we need to get everyone out. Give them someplace safe. Ricardon sighed. Problem is, the shadows will likely follow. Maybe we could barricade Vinya, Darren suggested. Keep the shadows out altogether. Tirana and I could use the stone and our magic to attack any of the shadows who make it inside. Too risky. We don't know how Shodokachal or shadow magic works. Do you really want to be responsible for attacking servants turned shadow? Ricardon leveled his gaze at Darren. Darren averted his eyes. I guess not. What if we did both? Siglana asked. Barricade the gates and block off public entrances. Anything Lord Minchatiel might know about. Then we can use the tunnels to move the populace to safety. Lord Cavanalana raised an eyebrow at Siglana. How do you know about the tunnels? She blushed. I was exploring the old writings in the back of the library, and one of them suggested that there were tunnels running from the armory to Vinya. I was curious, so I found a few scrolls detailing the city's original layout. I haven't actually seen the tunnels, but I remember the maps. Tirana scowled. She'd never seen these tunnels either. What are the chances the shadows could break through the tunnel in the manor? Unlikely, Siglana said. What I did find in the manor was just an old wall. It's more likely than you might think, Ricardon said sternly. But I'm with you on this one. The tunnels should be clear enough for us to move through, especially if you divide the city among multiple routes. He turned to Lord Cavanalano. With your permission, I'll order the gates closed and have the tunnel leading to your manor collapsed. Then we can evacuate everyone else to nearby estates. If you collapse a tunnel, they'll hear us and know we are evacuating, Tirana said. Unless we close it with magic, Darren said, smiling. We could seal rocks in front of the exit, and it wouldn't alert them either way. Ricardon nodded. That might work. Then do it. Lord Cavanalano stood and pushed his massive chair out from behind him. Captain, close the gates. I'll signal the beginning of the evacuation. Siglana, come with me. Tirana, Darren, do what you can to seal the tunnel. Tirana cringed. I don't know where to find the entrance. He looked at Siglana. Go with Tirana. Help if you can. Yes, father. She started to hug him, then stopped when she realized that she was still soaked. I'll do my best. Be careful. He nodded and looked to both his daughters. The same to you. Get out of the city as soon as possible, then go to Ashan. They need to hear what you know about these shadows. He dug into his desk and pulled out a weighty satchel. He split silver gold coins into an empty pouch and handed each of them a bag. Get fresh horses as needed. Take care of yourselves. He kissed them both on the forehead and ushered them out from the office. Then he grabbed his overcoat and, with a brisk stride, hurried toward the main stairs with the captain. The remaining three exchanged glances. Well, we'd better get started, Darren said. Tirana nodded, but a sinking feeling gnarled on her stomach. She touched a sterling silver brooch hiding under her jacket. This might be the last time she'd see Vinya as she knew it. A bustling, easygoing city that served as a trading point between southern Kairna and the seaport of Ashan. She pushed that feeling away. They had a tunnel to seal, and Picardin was right. They didn't know how to use the Shodokachal effectively, and she definitely wasn't good enough with magic to throw fireballs. Resigned, she followed Siglana downstairs into the courthouse basement.